Hi, everybody. Joe Choppy here. Weather in 5 days in 5 minutes. And just want to let you know about a couple of things. One is I have COVID, which was quite a surprise. So that has set me back a little bit. And between that and a few other things that are going on, we are not going to have a Joe and Joe Weather Show podcast until Sunday at 7:35 p.m. Uh, God, this really, kind of knocks me for a loop. Just feel more tired than anything else. But I've got enough energy today to talk about the fact that there's not a whole lot going on. I think the biggest accomplishment is the fact that we actually broke out into some improving weather conditions today as we check out the satellite loop. Um, Still on the edge of some clouds. It was a bit of a fight. Some places were able to break through to the south, other places not so much. Nice weather across much of the eastern part of the United States. Also back from Texas northward up into the western plains. And then, of course, we've got busy weather coming into the west. And that's really where all the action is at the moment as we look at the radar. Pretty busy in the western U.S. And there's a weak system in the middle and it's sort of shaped like a T. And then we have in the northeast a cold front that is moving through. And with that cold front, there might be a rain or snow shower tonight. But other than that, it should be fairly quiet. Got a little bit more activity going on in parts of Maine. This is not the only place in the eastern two-thirds of the United States where there's even a slight probability of at least some snow. Severe weather going ahead, none today, but we do have a slight risk developing tomorrow in parts of South Texas, along with a larger area of marginal risk. And then for Saturday into Sunday, we have marginal risk along the Texas coastal bend and the coast of Louisiana into southeast Louisiana, and that is with the next storm system that is coming into the west and will be taking a track uh, pretty far south, across the deep south. And here's the precipitation forecast for the next 7 days. So this takes us through next Thursday, and you'll notice there's like a quarter to a half inch little green blob there highlighted over central New Jersey. That's with this front tonight that's coming through. I don't know if we're going to see that much, but certainly could wind up seeing a few hundredths to up to a tenth of an inch. Otherwise, much of the Northeast, the Great Lakes, and the Ohio Valley, either nothing or less than a tenth of an inch over the next 7 days. A bit busier across the deep south than the Gulf states, where we're talking three-quarters of an inch to some areas up to an inch and a half. And they continue to get pounded in California with storm system after storm system coming in. So, on top of the several inches of rain that have fallen already and the snow in the mountains, guess what? Several to many inches of additional rain will be falling up and down the coast from San Diego all the way up to the Oregon state line. And in the Sierra Nevadas, that's all going to be in the form of snow. And that's where your high probabilities for at least two. Northern Rockies, right down into New Mexico, and then west into California. I'm just going to put the probability for at least eight, and you can see that in the Sierra Nevadas and some areas in the Northern Rockies where we see higher probabilities of at least 8 inches. I really don't see too much happening as far as the pattern is concerned going forward. It to me, it just seems to be fairly quiet. We have this storm system it's moved into California, but because of the way the upper air is set up, the system's going to undercut a big high that's over central Canada. We're sitting right over Lake Winnipeg, at least aloft anyway, and there's higher pressures over the Great Lakes. There's no way for this system to come up the East Coast. There's another storm system out south of Nova Scotia that's also preventing this from turning northward. So I think, other than the fact that we might see a shower or two tonight when this weather front comes through, it's going to be dry, and we'll finally have some sunshine through the weekend and into the first part of next week, and maybe even beyond that. This low that moves across the deep south and off the Florida coast is going to eventually make a turn northeastward, but really of no consequence. And it really does look like that we could be dry all of next week, which at least makes up uh, for the rains that we dealt with through December and into January. Joe Rayo often says that nature's like a big checkbook, it always tries to get itself into balance. So sometimes you have too much in one direction. You eventually do get compensated by too much in the other direction. So when you add it all up and divide it by two, it comes out to being dead even. So we will see you on Sunday for the Joe and Joe Weather Show podcast at 7:35 p.m. In the meantime, I will continue my recovery and hopefully I will continue to feel better, which I do feel better today. So we'll see you tomorrow.